Howdy, it's Teddy coming to you from down in my record room with yet another vinyl orgy. And at this orgy, no one was particularly invited. However, there were three records that graciously barged their way in via Mr. Dave Belson, otherwise known as On the Turntable. And wow, if you're not familiar with Dave's channel, well, I'll leave a link down here to check it out. And yeah, please do. Dave, like myself, sporadically makes videos, but when he does, man, they are must-see affairs for me. As Dave has incredible taste in music. And it's very eclectic, very wide variety of stuff that he shows and talks about. And often he's showing things that are new to me, which I really appreciate. And it's good stuff. So please check it out. And Dave, man, you hit the mark, brother. I mean, these three records, number one, didn't have them. Number two, all incredible. I've had a decent amount of time to listen to them and absorb them, and to be able to comment. They're just, thanks, man. Really, 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 yeah, incredible. So, let's get to it. Well, first up is a 1982 release by the cornetist, composer, and conductor Butch Morris. It's called In Touch, but Out of Reach. It's on the Karma label, which was 1980s New York label, small label that I want to say they released about 8 or 9 records, somewhere in there. Some very cool titles, by the way, worth checking out. This is Butch Morris's first release as a leader, and it was recorded at a space called the Environ, which was one of the big lofts from the New York downtown loft scene. It was recorded actually in 1978, so about a year after the Wildflower sessions were recorded, if you're familiar with that series. But what's different here is the music is starting to evolve away from, the muscular kind of histrionics that might be associated with the loft jazz scene. So what I mean by that is that the music's more approachable and grounded. Incredible group here that is really anchored by Gratian Moncur III, the great trombonist, and he brings a real gravitas to this session. You also have very under-recognized pianist Charles Eubanks. You also have Butch's brother Wilbur on bass, and 2 drummers, Bobby Battle, who would show up on a few Arthur Blythe records from the early 80s, and the great Steve McCall, who came up through the AACM ranks, and just an amazing drummer, and is on just, a ton of records. But so incredible group that takes Morris's more measured approach and just does an incredible job. If you're familiar with Gratian Moncur's BYG Actuel release called New Africa, it's kind of in that pocket for me. And New Africa is my favorite BYG Actuel release for sure. So it's really cool in that regard. Of course, moving forward, Morris really worked and developed a concept called conduction. And that was a completely improvisational endeavor where he would gather improvisational musicians, and through a baton and hand gestures, he would improvisationally conduct these improvisational artists. And, to varying degrees of success, as you can imagine. But it makes sense to me if you know a little bit about Morris's background. He had been a medic in Vietnam. And so, he had to make immediate sense out of something, insane. And so I think he took that experience and kind of applied it to this conduction concept. But anyway, got off track there a little bit. But this is really, really nice. Really, I dig this a lot. And it'll be a little hard to find. But if you run across it or pursue it, I don't think you'll be disappointed. In Touch, but Out of Reach, from Butch Morris, from 1982, on the Karma label. Well, next up is an incredibly diverse and eclectic album from Hank Roberts. It's called Black Pastels. It's a 1988 German release on the JMT label. Hank Roberts is primarily a cello player, but he also plays some acoustic guitar and does a little singing on here as well. He is supported by a stalwart cast of New York jazz players from the mid to late 1980s, primarily out of the Bill Frisell band. So you have Roberts, of course. You've got Tim Byrne on alto sax. You have a trio of trombonists, Ray Anderson, Robin Eubanks, and Dave Taylor. You have Bill Frisell, of course, on guitars. And Mark Dresser appears on bass on one of the cuts, and the great Joey Barron on drums. So very, very impressive lineup that is working. They got to be good musicians because this is all over the place, and I love it. Roberts, as I said, primarily a cellist. He kind of comes on the tail of a group of cellists, jazz cellists that came up in the 1970s. People like Abdul Wadud, Deidre Murray, David Aegis, people like this. And he's got his own take on it. He gets some really interesting kind of amplified sounds out of his cello. Some very dark, very visceral sounds. But then this album, next cut might be a Brazilian-sounding acoustic guitar with vocals. Robert's vocal style, if you listen carefully, you can hear some influence, believe it or not, from Stevie Wonder. And that's what I love. Are albums that the lines are so blurred. It's a mix of stuff within songs, from song to song. I love that kind of blend, and this kind of, in a sense, kind of crystallizes for me Dave Belson on the turntable and his diversity and eclectic approach to music. I know that Dave showed this in one of his videos, and I want to say that maybe it was Fred, Big Star 1000, that showed this as well. Fred, am I right on that, or have I lost my mind? Anyway, let me know. But there's also a thread, a sense of humor in this album as well. This is the nice photograph on the inner, but There's a song on here, 10-minute song. It's just great. It's called Grandpappy's Barn Dance Death Dance. So that gives you an idea. But yeah, this very difficult in a sense to describe this record because it's got so much going on. But yeah, this is right up my alley. Dave hit a home run here for sure. So anyway, Hank Roberts, Black Pastels, from 1988 on the JMT label. Well, the third incredible album gifted to me by Dave is from Roberto, Miguel, Miranda. It's called The Creator's Musician, and it's a 1980 release on the Nimbus West label. Nimbus West, more known for being associated with Horace Tapscott. Miranda is a bass player from the Los Angeles area, so yeah, he had worked with Tapscott. He also worked with the great John Carter, one of my favorite musicians. But he is a bass player of immense talent and feeling. This is a solo bass recording that just expresses a wide range of emotion, from very dark, brooding sense to more joyfulness. And it goes from, plucked bass to arco and back, and just really great. I mean, this has quickly risen to the top of one of my favorite bass recordings. So those of you fans of the bass like Mark, Dr. Rhythm, or Andrew, Turntablist, yeah, this is for you for sure. But it's more for, beyond being, a lover of the bass, this is just great music. Miranda is just such a grossly under-recognized, underappreciated player. I think part of that has to do with the fact that he stays pretty close to home in Los Angeles. And I think another aspect is that he is a very overtly spiritual and devotional man. The Creator's Musician kind of tips it off. He sees his music as a conduit back and forth to and from God. So, yeah, it is overtly spiritual, but is not spiritual jazz in a musical sense. It is from a conceptual sense, and brings up a little side point for me that spiritual jazz is one of those terms that gets thrown around pretty loosely. So anymore, the only time that I will refer to something as spiritual jazz is if it is overt, such as John Coltrane's A Love Supreme, overt. Pharoah Sanders' Karma, very overt. But then you have other musicians who got involved with spiritual work that aren't considered, spiritual jazz as most people will discuss it. People like Mary Lou Williams, the great pianist, got involved in very overt spiritual work, spiritual jazz. Duke Ellington got immersed in sacred works, and that is, for me, is spiritual jazz. But yeah, when it's overt is when I think for me is when I'll use that term. But yeah, it gets confusing, no doubt. But what's not confusing is how good this record is. Oh man, yeah, it is just full of life, if that makes sense for a solo bass recording. Yeah, just wonderful. Roberto Miguel Miranda, the Creator's Musician from 1980 on the Nimbus West record. Yeah. Dave, man, seriously, God, I'm so appreciative of your thoughtfulness. I mean, it means a lot. It does that. We have these interactions through this electronic realm, and and these feelings can come with it. It's pretty remarkable. So, Dave, thank you so much. So, I'm going to be traveling for a little bit coming up here. I'm going to be heading to Italy to see my daughter. She is an opera singer, and she has a very nice role in an opera in Arezzo, Italy, which is a little bit outside of Florence. So if any of you know of some great record stores in the Florence or Tuscany area, let me know, because I'll be digging around a little bit trying to find some gems to bring back. And it's great to get to another culture. It's been a while for me. And the world's kind of a nutty place at the moment, and I think it's really important to just be kind to your neighbor. I know it sounds cliche, but that's where it starts. That's where this change happens, is be kind to your neighbor and do what you can to keep it in the groove. And I'll see you next time.